welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are on this journey with me, that you are liking, that you're sharing, that you're subscribing, and we are rolling together. Why? Because we were never meant to do life alone, and I'm so glad that I am doing life with you as well. We do know that when we get in the Soup Bowl, life gets messy, and with that messiness, we can clean it up when we talk about it, but we just can't leave it there. Like, we don't want to be sweeping things under the rug or anything like that. But we can do this thing together. So we're continuing our conversation on today about true transformation, leading my life before I lead anything else. And we started talking about this pro se model with the ADKAR model that talks about change management, and we're using it for individual change, because when systems are made, who is making the system? Not the organization, not the family construct, but actually the individual. And so we're dealing with ourselves first, and that's what self-leadership is about. We went through the model, we went through the A, we went through the D, we went through the K. And so now let's recap a little bit. Awareness, right, was the first A. Awareness alone does not, right, transform anything. You can know something that you need to change and still refuse to do it. Desire, without knowledge, it creates what? Frustration. So you cannot become what you refuse. You can't become who you are supposed to be if you refuse to change, if you refuse to learn how to do that. And knowledge is more than just information. It's intentional formation. It's not about just thinking, oh, okay, I have all this information and now what am I going to do with it? I'm just storing it up, right? And then there's the other A, ability. Ability is the daily practice of what you know is right, especially under pressure. And transformation is not about a moment. It's about maintenance and commitment to doing it. Without reinforcement, regression is going to happen. So when we're talking about this ADKAR model, we're going to drop into, right, the last thing, which is knowledge, right? And so we want to reinforce that change through accountability, reflection, community, and spiritual grounding, right? Because when we come to a place where we don't want to acknowledge, right, certain things, then we leave out what things are necessary. We're not reinforcing, right, regular self-examinations. Are you examining yourself daily? Do you wake up in the morning and you begin to journal and begin to reflect on what you want to happen that day, what happened yesterday, how you're going to move forward differently? Are you committed to accountability, committed to community? Again, we were not meant to do life alone. And so we all need accountability in our life. Are you willing to take feedback without being defensive? So know that feedback is a good thing, especially when it's coming from a good source. Now, if you know somebody don't have your best interest at heart, then, you don't need to be taking that feedback. More than likely, they're there to cause harm, right, among you. But feedback is definitely necessary. It's okay to ask people, hey, what did you think about that? How did that make you feel when I did such and such or whatever? Or you're just looking for like something that you're trying to move forward in. And then about that spiritual grounding, you know your faith. I'm not going to tell you how you need to move in your faith, but I know how I move in mine, right? And that's part of my grounding each and every day. Are you taking the time out in your faith, right, to make sure that that's your grounding, that's your footing, what's your values, what's your principle? Are those the things that you are standing on? And then when you're doing that, you want to celebrate your progress. Progress is not perfection. Progress is moving. You're moving towards something. Did you make a change? Was it today I made a difference in whatever that thing might be? Did I make a difference, right, in a week? Did I make a difference in a month? It's called progression, right? It's not called, right, frustration and where you just be stagnant and don't move. So it's not about being perfect. I don't have to be perfect. I'm sitting here talking today. It's not perfect. But guess it's progression, right? It's the process. It's me showing up as my true, authentic self. And when I don't use enforcement, when we don't use enforcement for changing, we relapse, we burn out, right? And that's the thing, like I can talk to you about some burnout. I can talk to you about some burnout, right? Just doing things over and over again, expecting certain results, respecting change, and not getting anything, but not getting sleep, not getting peace, not getting rest, not getting the results that I want. It's called burnout. And we don't need to have burnout to actually make a change. So I want to talk to you about this principle that I call I can fly anyway. Okay, I know y'all don't know Reading Rainbow, but anyway, so it's called the butterfly principle, right? You cannot return to the cocoon once you've been transformed. Like the butterfly's like, oh, let me get back in the cocoon because I don't want to be here anymore. No, they're like ready to fly. They're beautiful. And they're all different too. Like even some of them are like kind of like the same color, but they're not the same color. So it could be like orangey pink or orangey yellow or blue and green or blue and black. Like it's just a beautiful thing. But in this butterfly principle, right, transformation requires letting go of control, letting go of an image and old identities. Right? I've never seen a butterfly, right, trying to be a caterpillar. So you should not be comparing yourself to other people. Why would you want to be a caterpillar if you're a butterfly? Why would you want to be, a cat if you're a dog? Why would you want to be anything other than what you have been designed and purposed to be? Like, I'm not trying to be Shakira. Right? I'm not even trying to be Beyonce. So some of y'all running around trying to be like Beyonce. She's Beyonce. Okay, she's Beyonce. You're not Beyonce. So you need to be just who you are. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So once transformed, right, you can change your systems. You can change your household. You can change your environment. You can change your organizations. You can change your community. But it's not going to happen if you're not willing to be the first to say, I'm willing to make a change. We can't look at other people and expect for them to do it. When you are not transformed, you are really destroying what could be a place of peace, a place of joy, a place of happiness, a place of getting along and collaboration and teamwork. Like, have you ever been like with a team that works really well together and a team that does not? Well, why is that? Because there's us as individuals that just making a decision that we just don't want to get along. But we can get along if we're willing to examine ourselves, look in the mirror and say, okay, it's me. I need to make this change. It starts with us as individuals first before we can look at anything else. And I want you to ask yourself this question: how will I protect the work being done within me? And what systems do I have in place to keep me being honest about where I am? I want you to really, truly think about this. As you're making decisions to move in your life, as you're making decisions about whether you want that next promotion, whether you want to start that business, how you want to move in your career, because untransformed people, they don't just fail privately, they multiply in dysfunction, and it happens very quickly. You know the saying about the bad apple spoils the bunch? I hope I'm saying it right, because sometimes these little analogies, I don't be getting them because I'm not from down south. No shade to the people in the south, but y'all do use them a lot. So this bad apple that, like, because it's sitting in the bowl and it's already spoiled and it's already touching other apples, right? It begins to spread. And then it goes to the next apple that's touching, and that apple is touching another apple. And it does it really quickly. And so now you don't have any more apples. And so somebody got to go out and get some more apples from the grocery store. That's causing what? More money, more resources. And so that's kind of what we do in our lives. When we sit there and we continue to operate in dysfunction, we're causing more pain, more dysfunction, more frustration. So as we are looking at how we want to transform truly and leading ourselves first before we lead others, we really need to think about, do I have the self-awareness that is necessary, right, for this type of change? Do I know that I need to adjust in certain areas? This desire that I have, is it enough, right, that I can ensure that I learn how to be what? Becoming of who I'm truly supposed to be. Is the knowledge there, right? The information that I need. And if you don't have that knowledge, look, there is someone that can help you with that. There is someone that is willing, right, to take you along if you are willing to humble yourself and say that I need help. That's why I think that coaching and consulting is very important, right? We need these type of professions in our life to help keep us on track, or just to talk some things out. Even therapy is very good. It's not there, right, for just to say, oh, I have a therapist. Because for some odd reason, it's like really, a fad right now. I'm in therapy. Okay, you're in therapy. But are you changing by being in therapy? Are you doing the work that's necessary that needs to be done in therapy? Or are you just in therapy because you want to say that I'm in therapy? Like, I know someone that's been in therapy for like 30 years and they still operate in the same behaviors. And so it's like, why are you in therapy? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to make this change? Because there has to be work that needs to get done. And then this ability, right, that daily practice of doing what is right. Doing what's right, doing what's necessary when you're under pressure, right? Moving in an ethical way that where it does not demoralize you, right? Because some people can come at you left, right? That happens. But when you're under pressure and you understand where you're going, you can respond in a responsible way. And transformation, again, it's not a moment. It is a continual practice, intentional practice about what needs to get done to where I need to get to. So I want to declare this today. Like, I'm going to speak to myself. I'm going to say it for myself, right? So before I lead others, I will lead myself first. And before I try to correct systems, I'm going to confront my own patterns. And before I demand change, I must model that change first. So transformation starts with me. Does it start with you? Is that what you're going to say today? That I must lead myself before I want to lead other people's. Organizations don't fail first. They don't fail first. When you look at history and you look at organizations that did not make it and those that did make it, you look at families that made it and those that did not make it, right? You look at people that are winning and those that are not winning. It's not them that they're failing first. It's not that. Families don't fracture first. Communities don't collapse first. But we do as individuals. And we are the ones that make up the organizations. We're the ones that make up the families. And we're the ones that make up our community. So I have a desire for all of you today to be successful in whatever it is that you were designed to do. Whatever it is that you were purposed to do. Whatever it is that you have been placed here to do. I desire for you to get into your true calling, true transformation into your becoming. And so I'm offering you a free assessment because we all like free, Free. We like free. I like free too. So in this, you get this free assessment on this EdCard model. If you go to my website, www.formosaic.com, you can get the assessment. And it's going to help you in your self-leadership and how you're leading yourself. It's free. Why not take it? I'm leading you to the water, but I can't make you drink. Here's another analogy, right? Lead the horse to the water and then you can't make them drink. Okay, yes, it's something like that. So I'm leading you to the water, but you're going to have to drink it. You're going to have to take it. And this is going to help you do that. I'm also saying, hey, if you want to connect with me, again, you can hit me up on my socials, right, at @formosaic_coach, and we can talk. We can chat it up again, or you can go to the website and hit book now, and we can chat it up as well. But please do take the self-assessment. It's free, and it can help you begin to start to grow and see where you are at. Well, we are out of time. Do know that leading is teachable. And until next time, I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Peace.